When most people talk about Florida retirement living, they insist leasing Avery Brixton 65 bus neighborhood. But here's the twist. Barefoot Bay isn't one of them, and that's exactly why it stands out. Families, retirees, snowbirds all live side by side, creating a totally different vibe than the communities you've read about. So why would people choose this non-age restricted space instead of a traditional retirement village? By the end of this video, you'll see how Barefoot Bay breaks the mold in a surprising way. Good morning. It's Dana Feliciano and Peggy Ganger with Keller Williams Realty. It is Monday morning and we are here in Barefoot Bay. Right now we're going to get some footage for you so you can see the golf course here. And then we're going to show you the neighborhood and a bunch of the other amenities, so make sure you stay tuned. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living along the Treasure Coast here in South Florida, particularly the Barefoot Bay area here, make sure you reach out to myself, Dana Feliciano, my business partner, Peggy Ganger. We're realtors with Keller Williams Realty here on the Treasure Coast. And whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, make sure you reach out to us so we can get you the best deal in any market. Why Barefoot Bay feels so different. Most people picture Florida as retirement living, as row after row of gated 55 plus villages, the kind with golf carts lined up in the driveway, and every street looking about the same. But what if a place broke out of that mold completely? That's why when it comes to Barefoot Bay, the neighborhood doesn't fit that stereotype. It started out decades ago as nothing more than a modest RV park on the edge of Mico. Over time, it grew, changed, and took shape into Florida's largest deed-restricted manufactured home community. One of my favorite ways to explain it is with a simple picture. There's a retired man who plays golf a few times a week on the community course. He loves the convenience of walking out of his door, grabbing his clubs, and hitting the greens. Right next door, you'll find a family with 2 young kids. Their afternoons are packed with bike rides across the neighborhood, trips to the splash pool. Neither group expected to see themselves in the same community, yet both came away with something valuable here. The golfer has easy access to his sport. The family has a huge range of activities within walking distance, and somehow it all works in the same setting. That balance exists partly because there's no 55 plus age restriction, and that's actually pretty rare for Florida, especially so close to the coast. Combine that with the area's policy of land ownership, and you start to see why Barefoot Bay stands out even further. In many manufactured home communities, residents only own the house, but have to lease the land. That can add a lot of insecurities and doubt when those land leases, the prices increase. Here, homeowners actually hold title to their lot. That means financial stability for families and much less worry about landlords changing the rules. Picture the lifestyle around town and you'll catch more than just the homes themselves. You've got a big recreation complex with multiple pools, a pier stretching out into the water for fishing or evening views, an 18-hole golf course, and even a set of local restaurants where neighbors gather. Families appreciate the playgrounds and open areas, while retirees take advantage of card games at the clubhouse or leisurely afternoons at the driving range. All of that variety on the ground reinforces the idea that different walks of life actually interact here instead of living in separate bubbles. Rather than shutting its gates to anyone younger than 55, it's developed into an open, all-ages environment here. That shift gives a community a personality that feels nothing like the typical image most people have in mind. The expectation, of course, is that something with manufactured homes and retirement in the description must mean quieter streets, retirees sitting on porches and very little going on besides bingo and potlucks. And yes, Barefoot Bay absolutely has retirees who chose it because of the slower pace. Right now we're here in Barefoot Bay, and Peggy and I are just going to do a little walking tour to let you know about the manufactured homes here. Again, you own the land that it's on, which is nice, and the HOA fee is about $80 a month, which is spectacular. Home prices vary anywhere from the 150s, that'll be a fixer-upper, all the way up to over the 300,000. So there's really a lot of gorgeous new manufactured homes here. So we're going to give you a tour, but they're gorgeous here, anywhere from 2 to 3 bedrooms. But here's the twist. When you walk or drive through the neighborhood of Barefoot Bay, you'll also see kids riding bikes to the pools, parents loading fishing rods into the car, people walking their dogs of every size. It doesn't match the cookie cutter communities that market themselves only to older adults, or 55 plus adults. Instead, it has developed into a blend, and that blend creates opportunity and energy. Okay, so I don't know about you, but tour bus signs brings me back to when I was a teenager waiting for Bret Michaels from Poison or praying to see John Bon Jovi get off of a bus. Went to concerts all the time, but this is a different sign for a different bus tour here at Barefoot Bay.
And right behind Dana are the shuffleboard courts. So there are activities for everyone.
What does it really cost to live in the Bay? So let's get real for a second here, because that part makes most buyers nervous. In Florida, neighborhood fees can feel like opening a mystery box. You think you're just buying a home, and then surprise, here it comes an extra charge for lawn care, another one for clubhouse, and something random like a special assessment. I totally get why people panic. You want to know what you're paying for, and you don't want it changing every other year. So how does Barefoot Bay deal with all of that? This is where most folks do a double take, because the setup is different than what you're used to hearing. When you start looking at homes here, one of the first things buyers ask about are the HOA fees. That's a standard question anywhere in Florida. People want to know what's the monthly HOA because they're bracing themselves for sticker shock, let's be real. Except in Barefoot Bay, the answer is a little confusing. There actually isn't an HOA. Yep, no homeowners insurance mysteriously handing out fines for the wrong shade of beige paint, or raising dues whenever they feel like it. But, and this is where people get nervous, there's still something called a recreational district fee. At first, that sounds like a vague label and it hides extra costs, but stay with me because it's not as scary as it sounds. You don't get nickeled and dimed every time you want to watch a show. You just pay one flat fee and it covers everything the platform offers. Barefoot Bay's system works kind of like that. The recreational fees get billed right into your annual property taxes, so you don't get separate bills coming at you from 10 different directions. One predictable payment takes care of stuff you actually use: pools, the golf course, clubhouse access, activities throughout the year, and even community-wide events. And here's where most people do a double blank. That fee comes in under $1,000 per year, not per month, per year. Less than most families spend on internet and phone plans, and that's giving you a whole community's worth of amenities. Before I melt away in the abyss, because it's still hotter than hell here in South Florida, we're gonna wrap up with, so now you know the price tag. The real question is whether this style of community lines up with your family's lifestyle and your plans for moving to South Florida. Again, remember, my name is Dana Feliciano, my business partner, Peggy Ganger. We are realtors here in South Florida with Keller Williams Realty on the Treasure Coast. So make sure you reach out to us on Zoom, text, call. We'd love to connect with you and help you make your smooth move to Treasure Coast.